Hello. Welcome to... Oh shit. Let's see if I can make it... If I can make it public. Save. Hello. Oh shit. How's that? If I can make it... Okay. Welcome to Shmirchik Fetcher's Corner, where you'll experience all the unpleasantness that comes with me. Right, so... What are we going to do? We're going to look at the news. Basically, I had to reset this stupid computer. Because... I had to reset this computer because... What happened was that... What happened was... Right? Let me see if I refresh it, how that will be. For fun. Live chat. Right. Because... it was giving me trouble, so now I have to go and all of the things that I had, all my tabs that were open, everything is gone, you know. I have to go search up the books that I downloaded, you know. It's a real pain, but it's all for the best, right? You have to try to have hi Jackson. I heard about it. I don't know what's happening there, but wow, there's a lot going on, you know. The world is, if you want, we can talk about it. Oh yeah, I saw that Muslims are running around beating people up. They're like, they form gangs in like 1 second, and they're very dangerous. It's very scary. You know, like, that's how they work. They do mob rule, you know? It's like they work with a mob. Like a mob. That's how they are, like, in any situation. They always just, like, in 1 second, they don't even need to organize, like, a protest, you know, like the British, you know? You have to put up signs, and everybody, oh, here's a place and time, let's go do this. No. It's a riot against illegal immigration from Muslims, and they're heading to towns tonight with guns. Who's they? So the riots are against the Muslims who are trying to come in, and now they're going, who has guns, right? So basically the way the Muslims work is that they can be very nice people when they're alone, right? But put them in a mob, put them near other people, and they become wild, and they become like so wild and riled up. And oh wow, so they have guns, and I don't know where they get their guns from. Probably terrorist cells, you know, sleeper cells. Now they're waking up, right? Riots were against Muslims, and now Muslims have started doing it too, right? Muslims are bringing the guns. Where did they get it? You know, like probably from the sleeper cells. Like, it's really scary because the problem with them is that they don't, like, you know, the British, you know, all the British people, the real Brits, you know, gentlemen. They're more slow. They're more, you know, they have their own way of doing things, and you know, they're more civilized, you know. So it's like, if they want to go protest, they need a place and time. They need to, you know, show up like gentlemen. But the Muslims, wherever they are, even if you introduce them to a different culture, they become like wild barbarians in like 1 second. And that's the frightening thing about them, right? They bring them in illegally on purpose, right? So Jewish homes are being attacked by the Muslims. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, there's like probably 500,000 Jews in England, and they're probably gonna have to get up and leave because they can form lynch mobs, these Muslims. They're very dangerous. And they hate Jews so bad that they're very dangerous, you know? Like, they hate Jews. Right? They're very dangerous. That's what people don't get, you know? Like, when the Gazans, what they did to us, they form a mob so quickly that this is how they operate, mobs. Alone, they're losers, they're weak. Alone, when a Muslim is alone, they're losers, they're weak. Or, just be careful, because if you said something that offended their religion, they will kill you. You can't really trust a Muslim because alone they can be violent, But in a mob, right? In 1 second they form a mob rule, and Omar knows this for himself. He knows that this is how they do things. Unlike civilized cultures, you know, civilized civilizations like the West, you know, like the Americans, they're more organized. They come and they have to have a place and a time, and they're all like very civilized and calm, right? But the Muslims, they're wild. They're like barbarians. They're like wild. They're rowdy. They get crazy. They get worked up. They're like in 1 second, like it goes from like calm with them to like 120 degrees crazy, right? There's a video of a man with a kippah in England, and over 20 Muslims chased him and beat him. This was yesterday. Yeah, this is the Muslim culture, you know, like it's very scary to be Jewish, you know, these days. It's very scary because this is Islamic culture, you know? It's Islamic culture, and they're proud. Like Omar, they're very proud, you know, as Omar comes on my channel, so proud. They're proud because of they're proud to be bullies. They're proud to be uncivilized. They're proud to be wild. They're proud to be like a pack of wild hyenas that, you know, like they're a pack of wild hyenas that need to be crushed, right? That's how they operate. And you see, wherever they go, it doesn't matter which civilization, they can be born and bred in England, but because of their Islamic culture, they're crazy, literally. It's very dangerous, you know, like, we can go talk about the UK, right? Let's go, yeah, free Israel. Imagine this is what we live with, you know. In England, the Jewish people, they have, at least they have a chance to live near normal British people who are not Muslim, right? But here in Israel, you can't avoid them, even though the Muslim population in England is growing, right? So, let's go see the Daily Mail, England, right? They lie. They lie, right? This is a lying media. UK Daily Mail. They won't actually report it. Armchair thug is first to be convicted for Facebook post trying to stir up racial hatred during riots. Family man 28 faces jail after urging mob to smash the fuck out of a migrant hotel while sat at home with broken heel. Right, so this is the news that they choose to show. They don't show the Jews being chased down by the Muslim mob, right? Oh, when the British decide to get up and fight back after being spat on by the Muslims and their government for like years, oh, they're the bad guys, right? I wouldn't say this guy is a thug. I would say this guy is a hero, right? Jordan Parler, a 28-year-old sign installer described by his lawyer as a family man, is the first man to be charged over Facebook posts. Wow, so they're going after him for Facebook posts. You see what I'm saying? This is tyranny. It's terrorism. The government is terrorizing the UK citizens. This is tyranny. Like, now you can't just... okay, because he said that everybody should go and target the hotel where the freaking illegal migrants are being put up, the ones that rape their daughters, you know, like, I don't know why. He's a hero. In my book, this guy is a hero, right? Let's see, UK news. Let's see if we can find any real news. UK news. Daily Mirror, the Mirror, right? Where's like a news place where there's, oh my god, wow. The Muslims need to be kicked out, you know? If England is to stay alive, if you're to preserve your heritage and to preserve your dignity and to just preserve your safety, you need to get rid of the government, overthrow the government, and put your own people there and do the right thing and kick them all out, put them back in Saudi Arabia, where they came from, right? They all wear masks, exactly. They just run around cities attacking people in big groups and nobody can do anything. Exactly. This is how they rule. Mob rule. This is how the Muslims, this is how they do it, you know? What you see in England, that's what happens here in Israel every day. That's why they're so dangerous, you know, because, like, they're crazy, you know, when a lot of time when, you know, when there's a stampede, something happens when people come into a mob setting. They go crazy in their head and they can do things that you never thought you can do. People can do, right? But this is the Muslim mindset where they work this way, right? They do together. They do their crimes together. This is why, like, women get gang raped, because it's a social event for the Muslims. this is sick, right? And something's got to change, right? They just make the Muslims look like the victim every single news page. Exactly. The hotel that was housed, there was a child rapist, and the media made him out to be a victim. Exactly. Trobin Sonera on Twitter shows Islamic attacks. I don't want to see it. I'm too scared. I believe it. You know, like, the Muslims, this is who they are. They show their face. You know? This is who they are. They show who they are. They're wild. They're not civilized people, right? We are coming for you. Hunt for mindless riders still at large, including vicious dogs who hit police dog with a brick. Five faces cops are searching for. Oh, because they're white? Oh, so therefore you have to... Or they're Arabs. Who are they? Hunt for UK riders, including thugs who hit police dog with a brick. 5 men cops need to find. For anyone involved in wreaking violence and destruction in UK street, there has been a message from authorities. We are coming for you. Oh, okay. So kiss the ass of the Muslims who want to kill you in a mob violent attack, like gang rapes. That's what they do. It's their culture, you know. It's their culture, you know. Like, literally, what you saw, right? Basically, what you see in your streets, right? Hi, South to West. The news makes me very depressed. This news makes me very depressed. Basically, what you see, when you see the Muslims, when you hear, I know in the media they don't like to say the Muslims did this, you know, Muslims did gang rapes, but that's their culture. When you see in the news that there are white women and white little girls that are being gang raped and sometimes killed, this is their Muslim culture. It's rape culture. Islam is rape culture because their great prophet was a rapist, child rapist, and somebody who was a pervert, right? So anyway, Randy loves the rapist Muslims, so that's who Randy is, right? But basically, when you see these little girls getting raped by the mob, right, by the Muslim mob, it's just a little taste of their culture, right? Because this is what they do to their own families. This is what they do to their own community, right? So if they find a little boy in the street, a lot of time, if the little boy is alone, they'll take the little boy and they'll molest the little boy and then they'll rape him. And all the male adults, or a little girl, and all the male adults, they all participate, right? It's normal. And the IDF, they have seen this. They have night vision goggles, and they have binoculars, and they go look in the villages here in Israel. This is what they do, right? This is their culture. It's normal, right? So you think you're safe from these people who do this to their own people? If they can do this, if Islamists can do this to their own family members, then what makes you think that they won't do it to you? Like, this is what we live with in Israel, right? Like, the village next door, right? Like, what you saw on October 7th, right? The way the mob came in and they did what they did, and the way the mob took that girl's body and they all spat on her body, and they were all celebrating and they were all beating the girls, lynching the girl, right? Naked. This is Islamic culture, my friend. So, you know, like, oh yeah, the Jews are causing the problems. The Jews are causing the wars. No, we live next to monsters. And you're just getting a little taste of how those monsters behave, right? I think the UK people need to riot more. The people need to do an uprising. After what happened to those 3 little girls, the UK people, they need to wake up. They need to take to the streets, and they need to go to the government buildings, and they need to overthrow the government, kick out the officials. They need to, you know, and they need to also go to the Muslim population, and they need to show them violence. You know what I'm saying? Hi, Liam. You're Christian. Do you still love me? I don't love anyone. The only way to neutralize a bully is to bully the bully. That's the only language a bully understands, is bullying, right? So it's good news that the UK, the Brits are rising up. It's good news. It's good, you know. It's good that they're rising up. It's good that they're fighting back. It's good. And they need to learn from the Muslims a little bit how how to be a little bit more aggressive and violent to push back on the Muslim communities, because they are very violent, you know. If you give them an inch, they take a whole block. That's how it works. He was a Rwandan migrant. Was he Muslim? But the killer was not Muslim. That's what they say, but I'm not sure. I'm convinced, right? Right, Randy, blame all your problems on the UK. I actually just did a video yesterday on debunking all of your accusations against us. Every single accusation that you make, I debunk, right? With proof and evidence and common sense and logic and true history from historians. But, oh, it's the Jews. No, it's your degenerate community that you live in, and you're part of it, and you're part of the problem. Right? People are saying he converted to Islam. Right. Yeah. And in Islam, it's not a surprise, because a lot of people are converting to Islam. In England, a lot of people they're feeling intimidated, and they're converting to Islam. You know? You'll never see Jews trying to convert anybody, right? In fact, if you try to convert, we say you can't, right? It's for sure fake news, right? Yeah. It's our government bringing the Muslims in. Yeah, now he's gonna say, oh no, the Jews are in the government. The Jews are the government. Oh, the Jews are like the prodigals of the elders of Zion. When like the guy who wrote it was responsible for like a massacre, the Khmelnytsky massacre in Russia. Right? Like, and it's a fraudulent document. You know, if you put 10 older Jewish men in a room, they cannot agree on anything. So, let alone agree on how to take over the world. So it's a stupid, fraudulent claims to accuse us of your problems, you know. The topics, we're going to look at what's happening in UK. And, Randy, do I fund any boats? This guy is such an idiot. Randy's such an idiot. Like, my parents are both immigrants to America, right? And they both believe closed borders, and only you got to go through the process. That's what my parents believed. And most Jewish people believe the same way, right? And Randy he's a sick person, because he's accusing the entire Jewish community he's making baseless accusations based off of maybe the behavior of one Jewish organization, which consists of like 2 Jews. But that's who Jew haters are. They're ass kissers to the Islam, right? Yeah, Randy. Just when the Muslims come for you, which will be soon, you can go and tell them about how bad the Jews are, and see how if that will save your life, right? See if that saves your life. No, Randy, it's personal, because you're saying the Jews do this and the Jews do that. I'm Jewish. There's 15 million Jews you're accusing. You're generalizing, you know? It's very offensive, and your generalizations have caused the Holocaust. 6 million Jews to die. Your generalizations that, oh, the Jews do this and the Jews do that. No, there's 15 million Jews today because, okay, we used to be more, but you killed us, right? And the Jews do this. Do you realize there's a reason why Jews are being attacked in the streets in the UK? Do you realize it's you? You are the criminal. You have blood on your hands for lying about us, right? Yeah. Yeah, whatever. You're an idiot, Randy. Instead of focusing on your problems and fixing it without blaming people for it, it's going to be your own downfall, right? Right, he's a Jew. Okay, whatever. Yeah, so if one guy is Jewish, yeah, go blame the entire nation of the Jews. And the Jews are responsible for this, and the Jews are responsible for that. So therefore, go attack Jews on the street because, oh, we're the bad guys. That's how sick you are. You know, you guys are sick and evil, and you support evil, you stand with evil, you love evil. So evil will come your way, you know? Evil will come your way. Okay. As UK courts begin to deal with thugs who smashed shop windows, attacked police, hurled bricks, and started fires, detectives are continuing to hunt for anyone still at large. Nearly 400 arrests have already been made across the country over the ongoing riots, bringing terror and misery to the community. Oh, I feel so bad. Not. More people need to wake up. The UK needs to wake up and rise up and overthrow the government, you know? That's what you have to do. If you're not going to do that, it's over for you. Really, it's finished, because you don't know how to, you don't understand Islamic culture unless you live here in Israel and you see it for yourself. You won't understand it. Do you know what I'm saying? Until it comes to your doorstep, right? It's just so offensive. It's like saying all white people do this, all white people do that. Oh, the white man does this, the white man does that. You know, it's like you're sick, right? Right. So that's the root. The root of the problem is that you're jealous of any Jew who's in a powerful position. You're jealous of Jews in economics. You're jealous of Jews who own banks. You're jealous of any Jew who's successful. You hate. It's something inside of you. You have a problem, right? Liam, I don't hate Jews. I hate the one that lied and got me fired from my job years ago. Okay, at least you know who to hate. And do you know what I'm saying? At least you have one person to hate on, not an entire race. You know, like it's like Candace Owens, for example. She had a Jewish boyfriend who broke her heart, so now she's at war with the entire Jewish nation. You know, like this is who you are. This is the type of people you are. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what, Randy? Because of your lies, maybe I will go on a campaign to send all immigrants, somehow, I don't know how I'll do it. I'll send all the immigrants to your doorstep. I'll find your address and I'll send all these Muslims to your doorstep as a gift. A gift from me. But Shmirchik, they'll say, Shmirchik sent me, right? Hi, Sarganabakan, how are you? Do you have any plans for vacation or holiday? Every day is a holiday for me. Why did you delete your video today? Because I was having technical problems. Basically, I was having technical problems because it was making noise. The mic wasn't working. The system was broken. I had to basically re-download the entire system. I had to fix the computer. Somehow I just wiped everything clean. So as you can see, I don't have as many tabs open, right? So yeah, so that's why I kept like retrying it, and then I did private, and then I retried the video to see if it's working, and then finally I'm on after a whole day, you know. So yeah, whatever. Listen, you guys, your claims, your accusations are easily debunkable, so easily debunked, which I did in my other videos. My video yesterday, go look. I debunk. Oh, the Jews started all wars. I debunked that, right? The Jews did this. The Jews were slave owners. The Jews were the main slave owners. I go look up the history, right? Factual history, according to historians, non-Jewish historians, who read the documents and see the evidence. And there were barely any Jews who were involved in the slave trade. It was like a tiny amount of Jews. 1 or 2 Jews owned like a few boats. And the majority of the people who owned slaves were actually a mixture of everyone. Everyone was involved in the slave trade, and even freed slaves, even black slaves who were freed, they started to sell slaves too. So, yeah, the Jews did this, and the Jews did that. It's okay, Randy, calm down. Calm down, you know? Yeah. Whatever. I wish white people would control institutions in my white country. You'd say the same for Jews in Israel, wouldn't you? Here, there's Arabs in the Knesset. Here, there's Arabs that are... There's a judge who's an Arab. Here, there's a lot of like Muslims who are in powerful positions in Israel, in the Israeli government. So, again, baseless claims. You know, like... The guy who put away Olmert, you know Olmert, go look him up. The guy who put him away was a Muslim judge. Oh, but the Jews did this. Oh, would you say all white? Oh, the Jews are not white. Jews are mix of colors. You know? So, you just want to... You're focusing on the wrong threat, because you're aware that the problem with the Jew hater, the bigot, the Jewphobic people, because Randy's Jewphobic, Elfenbein is Jewphobic. The problem with you is that basically you're avoiding the problem. right? The real problem is in front of your nose, and you're diverting. You're diverting yourself. You're not realizing who the threat is. Because Jews have no interest in controlling your life, right? The average Jewish person has no interest in what you do in your life. Like, we literally don't care, right? Like, literally don't care, and the threat is in front of your nose. And instead of taking care of the threat, I think I know why you won't take care of the threat. You know why? Because you're aware that you can't take care of the threat, because the threat is too big, you know? And the threat is not us, it's Islam. You know? It's so interesting. It's so interesting. But this is your downfall, you know, because this is your downfall. I'll tell you why it's your downfall. Because you can't deal with the threat. You don't want to actually face the problem. Because I think you're aware that the problem is too big already. So now you have a defeatist attitude, which is not good for you. You need to learn to fight. You need to learn to stand up for yourself. You have a defeatist attitude, right? You have a defeatist attitude. Yeah, and you want to ignore what's before your eyes. And what's before your eyes, it's not the Jews. Because Jews, if you see Jews in the Jewish community, literally, if you see Jews in the Jewish community, they literally don't give a shit what you do. They don't care. They're too involved with their own lives. You're like so brainwashed by the propaganda, by Nazi propaganda about the Jews, is that it's actually a plan by the elites. The elites, you know, who are not Jewish, the elites in the deep state. It's a plan to blame the Jews for everything so that they won't be exposed, right? It's a plan. This whole propaganda against the Jews, it's part of their plan to take over and enslave you. The elites, this is what they want to do to you. So, yeah, blame the Jews. Blame the Jews. Get rid of the Jews, right? Kill the Jews. Like what Nazi Germany did. But then, it's not going to stop with us, because we were just, we were somebody that was a distraction. They're trying to distract you from the real problem, which is the deep state. Which is people of your own kind that want to control you, like North Korea, right? So, you know, it's part of their plan to brainwash you into the propaganda, which it is. It's just lies about Jews, you know, and you know, eventually to take over you. Because once the Jews get killed or the Jews get kicked out, what happens is they're going to turn on you. These elites that are in charge, that want to enslave humanity, once they get rid of the Jews, because Jews are a distraction, right? Because Jews are very hard to control. We're very hard to control, Randy. These are facts. We argued with God, right? We argued with God himself, right? We're very stiff-necked people. We're very stubborn. And you put two Jews in one room, there's three opinions, right? So, and Jews can argue with you until you're blue in the face, because there's no way that the Jews can't control you, because there's no organization. Everybody is suffragan. Everybody is all over the place. Everybody is full of opinions, you know. And also the reason why we're hard to control is because we have big mouths and we talk a lot. And so once they get rid of the Jew, because the Jew is the free thinker, right? If the Jew has Yiddish Kapala, we think and we talk back, right? We talk back to power, right? Who is your deep state, you know, your people in your government who are behind the scenes that are trying to distract you with propaganda against Jews. You know, they're turning you on us. Literally, is their plan, and it's working. Their plan is to turn Randy's and Adams on the Jews so that you do the job for them. You do the dirty work, you do the job for them, getting rid of the Jews. Once they get rid of us, you're a minion. You turn into a minion and you turn into their slaves. That's the plan. That's the plan of the deep state elites who are in the greatest powers. They're like Kamala Harris, not a Jew. They're like Bill Clinton, not a Jew. You know, once in a while you'll get a bad Jew involved, George Soros, right? But most of them are not Jewish. And their plan, you know, like Obama, not a Jew. Their plan is to enslave you. And their plan is working. It's so genius. And you don't even realize it, because whenever the Jews go, whenever the Jews are killed, and whenever the Jews are kicked out, the entire nation suffers, right? Look what happened to Nazi Germany. They killed 6 million Jews, and look what happened to Germany. You lost land. You lost lots of land in this wars. 20 million people were killed, right? And they went on, and they even, the Nazis, they even turned on you guys. They didn't let you read books, right? What did Hitler do? He burnt books, and they censored the theaters, right? They censored the theaters, right? In Nazi Germany, you weren't allowed to read books. You were only allowed to read certain books. You were only allowed to watch certain movies. Everything was under the control. Once the Jews were dead, right? In the beginning, even before the Jews were dead, they started to like censor everything, and all they taught you was propaganda against Jews. So then the Germans, they killed the Jews. But then the problem was that you couldn't have what you want. It was tyranny on you. You weren't able to read any books. The average person wasn't able to go to theater. They had to be at home at a certain time. And this is the facts of history, which you don't learn because you don't want to. You don't understand how dangerous this mindset of the elites are, that they're trying to control you, literally. They're trying to control you, and they're trying to make you do their dirty work by getting rid of us. We are the best people. We are the Jews. We are the best people. We keep you free and alive, because without us, because we have big mouths and we have many opinions, so Jews are very hard to control, right? We love books, and we like to read, and we like knowledge, right? The best way to control people is to make them dumb and to control their mind. And that's what they're trying to do to you, Randy and Adam. And it's working. It's working like a dime. It's working like a charm. The whole entire world is turning on us. But next, soon you will be their slave. Mindless slaves. Just like you were under Nazi Hitler Germany. Just like what he did to the nation of Nazi Germany. Right? Yeah, that's what they say. They like to say, oh, they burnt porn and they burnt communist stuff. But no, they didn't. You know? They didn't. They wouldn't let you even read O. Henry, Little O. Henry, you know? They burnt those books. They didn't let you read even the story, which in my other video, if you go look from yesterday, they wanted to play the story about the Jew. His name was Shylock. There was a Jew named Shylock in the story. And even that story, because it made the Jews look good, even that story, that's the only story that they allowed into theater. They censored it, and they even changed the headlines. They changed the play, right, to make the Jew look really bad. They completely changed the play of the Jew named Shylock in the Nazi theaters. Like, this is how it works. It's not even about the Jews. At the end of the day, it's not even about us. At the end of the day, it's about you. It's about the Kamala Harrises and the Hitlers and the Stalins and who weren't Jewish, right? It's about them wanting to control your mind. And how do they do it? Through you. Using you, brainwashing you that the Jews are the evil ones, so that they distract you from what's really going on. You know, what's really going on is like in communist Russia, for example, right? Gorbachev wasn't Jewish. Stalin wasn't Jewish. All these dictators. Lenin wasn't Jewish, right? So what they did in communist Russia was censor books, and they censored theater. It's a very depressing life to live in, because imagine you just get dead bored, and they're controlling what goes in and out. They control what goes in your mind, and they tell you exactly what to think. And this happens over and over and over again. For example, like Stalin got into power, and then he kicked Trotsky out. Trotsky had to flee to Mexico, and then they killed him there, right? Trotsky, who was Jewish, right? Like, it's a game, you know, and it's a cruel game, and they play you like a charm. And it's really sad because you don't see it. And even people like me who come and try to educate you about this type of thing, you know, you refuse to see it, you know? I'm circumcised and Jewish women love it. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Make hate speech laws. Yeah, I'm the one who's doing it, right? The Jewish community, we're all the one who's making hate speech laws. Right. Okay. Yeah. Whatever. Listen, it's gonna happen again because they're just a distraction because Jews are hard to control. And it's very hard to control the Jewish minds because we have our Torah, which makes us think. And the only way to really enslave a people like North Korea is to block you from seeing and thinking what you want, right? And the way to do that is to kick the Jews out or to kill the Jews, because the Jews are here to make you think. Like, you come on my channel and I'm here to talk about stuff, right? I'm very open, I'm very, I'm very argumentative, and I'm very opinionated, and I'm very loud, and I have many, many opinions, right? And so, do you know what I'm saying? So, like, whatever, listen, it's a diversion, and I'm telling you, because of history, right? If you learn history, you see a pattern. What's the pattern? What's the pattern, you know? What's the pattern in history, right? Like, every single time tyrants try to do bad things to people and to control people, first, they started with the Jews, right? They turned everybody on the Jews. And the Jews were killed and massacred because of that, because of those lies, propaganda that they tell you about us. Like, oh, the Jews are responsible for the trans thing. The Jews created the porn, all of them. All the Jews are bad. All your problems, the Jews did it, right? And then once you get rid of the Jews, you know, they start censoring your books. They burn the books. They don't let you watch what you want. Suddenly, you'll be like North Korea, where if you go watch the documentary, the North Koreans, they are, when they go to the library to read, they have computers, and they can't, they have internet, but they can't search anything. Whatever they search, they have like one line, you know, they find one thing, and that's all they can know, and that's all they can talk, and that's all they can think. And that is the direction you're going down, you know, that's the direction you're going down in, you understand? So, yeah, it's okay, listen, it's okay, listen, I'm trying to teach you about history, you know, like, what did Hitler do, right? Hitler, he made propaganda about Jews, he lied about Jews, you killed them, 6 million of them, and then what'd he do? Even before he killed the Jews, right, it was a campaign to kill the Jews, and then to fuck your head, to fuck your mind, right, to make you brain dead, like, and to control you. That's what it was about, right? That's what Hitler did. He burned the books. It wasn't just porn. You know what? Let's do, what books did Hitler burn, according to documented history? What books did Hitler burn? He burned everyone's book. He burnt Freud's books. He burned everybody's books. Okay, let's see what he let's go to book burning, Holocaust Encyclopedia. Let's see which books he burnt. Let's see, right? He said it was for sexual, it was pornography, but he burnt every book that he thought you shouldn't read, he burnt, right? Let's see, list of books burnt by Hitler. List of books burnt by Hitler. Let's go see. All Quiet in the Western Front, Erich Remarque. Okay, so there was an original title of the novel authored by German World War I veteran Erich Maria Remarque was burnt, right? In the 1929 instant classic, whose 1930 American cinema adaptation became the first movie based on a novel to win the Academy Award for Best Picture, helped make the translated phrase synonymous with stagnancy. It also pissed off Adolf Hitler something fierce. Why? Hitler, who served as a lance corporal in the Kaiser Army during the Great War, wasn't too keen on dwelling upon Germany's embarrassing defeat, unless it served his revenge narrative. of the perceived grave injustices of the 1918 armistice foisted upon his homeland. In fact, when he conquered France in 1940, Hitler held the formal surrender ceremony in the same rail carriage where Germans surrendered to Allied forces 22 years later. So whatever he thought, like, you shouldn't read because it's too embarrassing, because, you know, the worst thing for a tyrant is shame and embarrassment because of their huge ego, right? The Outline of History by H.G. Wells, right? History books. He burnt history books. You know, it was actually a science fiction. No, he burnt this one. This book was a science fiction book. He didn't like it. He burnt The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka, right? It's a literary book. He burnt like all these novels. Heart of Darkness, Joseph Conrad, right? It talks about Africa and you know, anything that will make you feel bad for another population or give you knowledge about other people. You know, he burnt it. You can't read that. How I Became a Socialist, Helen Keller. Okay, and it's a book about a deaf and blind girl that he burnt. Cosmic Religion, Albert Einstein. The master of science, he burnt his books. He burnt Freud's book, The Master of Psychology, Unnamed Artwork Compilation. He burnt that. Arts. He burnt A Brave New World. He burnt Communist Manifesto of Karl Marx. He burnt everything in Institute of. He burnt everything in the Institute of Sexology, right? Wow, because he hated the gays. He hated the gays. What else did he? Let's go see what else he. A list of books. Let's see. Let's see which books he. You know, it's a lot of fun to see which books he burnt, you know. He burnt the Talmud, he burnt the Torah, he burnt the Jews, he burnt everything. This is your leader, my friends. This is your leader, right? Let's see, what books did he burn? Yeah, so it wasn't just there was no porn books. It was just novels. He didn't want you guys to have any Hitler didn't want you to have any knowledge or any thoughts of fantasy, right? He just wanted you to be dumb. And that's the best way to control you, is when you're dumb, you know? So, yeah. That was not me, excuse me. He burnt everything, you know? You guys, he burned the largest porn collection. That's what the tyrants in power, the elites that want to control you, tell you. The Jews are the ones they want you to watch porn. And you make like that's a bad thing. And then you go and sit in your mother's basement and you watch porn all day and all night yourself. You know? We all know. Like, come on. You're dudes, you know? If you like women, you'll watch porn. If you like men, you'll watch porn too. Right? So, yeah. You guys love book burning. You love to be brain dead. That's the problem. He burnt Freud's books. Adam runs away because he doesn't get attention that he needs. Isn't that funny? It's hilarious. Starved for attention. Not mindless. Walking dead. Dumb. Brainless people like Adam. You know? They lap up all the propaganda, all the lies, you know, everything that Hitler feeds them. All the Hitlers that try to like control him, like the North Koreans, right? Yeah, but listen, can't fix stupid. Can't fix a minion, you know? People who hate Jews are minions. They are literally brainless, brain dead zombies who they are brainwashed. Right? They're brain damaged. And yeah, Adam needs attention, right? Yeah, that was the first part. Freud was a genius, and he helped many people. And yeah, sure, like I believe you, Watchmen. Of course you all watch porn. All of you. You all watch porn, all of you. You all watch porn, and then you complain that porn is created. Why? Because you're addicted to it. So you hate it. Because you're a slave to porn. Isn't that funny? Yeah. There's no matter of facts. It's just like, oh, the Jews do this. The Jews are in charge of the slave trade. I go look it up. There were like 1 or 2 Jews who owned 1 or 2 ships that were used for the slave trade. And there were 1 or 2 Jews who were part of participating in selling slaves. But so were the Berbers and the Africans. And so were the Spanish. And so were the Germans. And so were the British. Everybody was selling slaves. Even slaves that were freed start to sell other slaves. You know? Yeah. What? Why do you hate porn so much? Is it because you're addicted? You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to bang. Well, if he did, he didn't act on it. So, whatever. Can't argue with that. You know. Can't argue with that. But it's all about psychology, and the mind is something that needs to be spoken about. You know what I mean? Like, you know, don't, you know, like, I'm sure you have secrets in your head that you keep quiet because, you know, you're too afraid to talk about it because you'll be looked at like you're a freak. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you do. Watchmen, you are a porn addict. All of you. Adam is a porn addict. Watchmen, Randy, you're all porn addicts, and that's why you focus on that so much. The Jews created the porn, which you're addicted to. It's hilarious, right? And tonight, you're all going to go and onto the porn hub, and you're going to all go jerk off to the porn, which you're addicted to, which the Jews created, like you say, right? So, yeah, we created porn. Fine, you know, go fuck yourself. Go jerk off, you know? Have fun. Don't blame your addiction on us, you know? Part of being free is having the freedom to do whatever you want, to think whatever you want, but not to act on it. So, if you want to bang your mom, you know, you can think it, but you don't need to act on it, okay? That's the freedom that you have. You have freedom of choice, right? Freedom of thought, freedom to read, freedom to have anything that you want at your fingertips, but freedom to choose, right? That's part of what freedom is. But the problem with people like you is that this feeds into my theory about people like Randy, because people like Randy and Adam, this fits into my theory about you guys, that you can't handle freedom, because the reason why you don't like freedom, because with freedom comes responsibility. So for instance, if somebody goes and puts in front of you, you can have whatever books you want to read, right? You could read anything on the planet, any perverted thing, any fetish, anything, you know? You could, if you love dark things, you know, like stories of like really dark, perverted, sick stuff, you can, it's at your fingertips. That's part of what freedom is. Freedom to think, freedom to read, and you make choices, right? Problem with Randy is that Randy can't take responsibility for his behavior, because with freedom comes responsibility, and Randy is too free, so that's why he needs to be controlled by the elite. By the elite, he needs to be a slave because he can't handle freedom. And this feeds into my theory that human beings, most human beings besides for the Jews, do not like to be free. Randy wants to be a slave. Watchman wants to be a slave. Adam wants to be a slave. They want to be controlled. They need someone to tell them what to do. You're a minion. You can't handle freedom, because with freedom comes responsibility. Oh, you put the trans idea out. Oh, the Jews did this, the Jews did that. You don't have to be trans. Just because it's an idea out there doesn't mean you need to buy into it. You have freedom to choose. And with freedom comes responsibility. You have to take responsibility over your own life. And this is what Jewish people teach you. You need to take responsibility for your own life. And you don't like that because you don't want to take responsibility for your life. Because if you take responsibility, it means you have to put more work into everything. You just want people to tell you what to do. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, whatever. Listen, the Torah is very deep. It's not something you can understand, and it's not something you'll ever know because you have no interest in it. You know? You have no interest in it. Only a person that's very interested in things like that, interested in knowledge, you know, only people who are interested in knowledge will have any deeper understanding. But you guys are lower vibration. Randy is lower vibration, you know. Adam is lower vibration. You operate on a very low level. You don't have any intellectual abilities to think. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why you love people to feed you nonsense. They tell you what to think, the media, right? The propagandists on the media, they tell you what to think. They brainwash you and they say over and over and over again, USS Liberty, right? Oh, the Jews did this, right? And then they say, oh, the Jews are doing genocide in Gaza, and the Jews invented porn, and the Jews are in the slave trade, and the Jews caused World War I, and the Jews take Christian children and drink their blood. Like, this is what they put into your brain over and over and over again. You become like a robot. This is who you are. You are lower vibrational. You don't want to take responsibility for your life because you're not able to. You need to be controlled. You understand? That's why Adam needs to be controlled. Randy needs to be controlled, and whoever else like you who believes in the you believe in propaganda, you love to be controlled. You're not able to be free. You need to be controlled. You know, like, this goes into my theory that human beings love to be controlled, except for the Jews. The Jews love to be free, right? Because we love to think. People like you don't want to think. You just want to repeat like a parrot, like what everyone tells you. You know, like in communist Russia. You know, like, the people, they have to repeat whatever the government tells them. You can only watch a few channels that have the same program on every day, and this is what you watch. You know, you want to be under like Hitler. You know, you want Hitler to tell you what to think, what to read. Yeah, burn all the books. You want to get rid of anything that will make you think. That's why you're slaves in your mind, and you're going to be slaves for the rest of your life. Eventually you're going to be slaves to somebody because of your mindset. You know. Yeah, we invent everything, Adam. Because of us, you have electricity, you know? Oh, you people are clearly not good for our way of life. We gave you everything. We gave you electricity. We invented everything. The computer that you sit on, because of a chip that was invented in Tel Aviv, is the reason why you're able to use a computer in this condensed version, right? Einstein, theory of relativity, right? Because of him, we have satellites in the sky. Because of him, the computer can work. Because of him, he made a huge change, you know? The Jews gave you everything, and this is the thing you would get. You people are not good for our way of life. You know what? Go back. Go back to the Stone Age, you know? Go shit in a shithole. Go shit in a hole in the ground. Go back to the way you were, you know? 2,000, 3,000 years ago. Losers, right? Yeah, Hitler didn't even have kids. Hitler had no kids, and he wasn't even married. He was a loser, you know? And he was gay on top of that. Yeah. Yeah, pill pull. You don't even know what pill pull is, you idiot. Wow. You say words that you don't even know. But this is what you're programmed. So I'm trying to help you, you know? I'm really trying to help you, Liam. I'm trying to help you. But you refuse to see the light. So you are doomed to your own... It's your own karma. You're doomed. You know? You are doomed. Anyway, we're gonna move on. All of you Jew haters can go and continue listening to the propaganda of the media because that's all you know. And you're not unable to think. You want to be slaves, so that's what you deserve. I'm going to continue on to other things. So you can all go away while I go and talk business. Okay. Let's see what else is happening in the UK. Nigel Farage tied in knots in live riots interview. I didn't have a clue. Moment idiot thug shoves huge bin at a riot police and she's found guilty of violence. Listen, let's hope the Brits fight back against Islam because maybe Islam needs to take over Britain. Maybe Islam needs to take over your country so that you will be their slaves because there's a reason why Islam invented nothing. Islam invented zero. They invented nothing. Only 50 years ago, they started using toilets. And that's where you will end up, you guys. You Jew haters. You'll just go back to the Stone Age, you know? Live in a mountain hole somewhere, shit outside your cave. Hopefully, you'll make a deep enough pit so that it doesn't smell, and hope you don't fall into it while you're in the process. Yeah. Okay, let's go see what else is happening. Yeah, this is the mainstream media, which they're demonizing the white man, sadly. Picture disgraced faces of shame belonging to Brit rioters who brought terror to UK streets. Oh, but the Muslims, they don't do anything. But listen, this is your downfall, you know? Because you didn't stand with the Jews. You didn't stand with us when we told you the Muslims are coming. We told you. We warned you. The Muslims are going to take over, and then they're going to kill you like they kill us. And now, that's what's happening. And your leaders, who are the elites, right? Who are not Jewish, most of them, they want to make you enslaved. That's why they are going to people who are on Facebook and arresting them for making tweets and commenting, you know. That's what's coming your way. And you deserve it. Because you didn't stand with us. We warned you. We told you so, right? We told you so. And that's that, you know. We told you. It's too late, my friends. It's too late. It's too late. You know, your little kids are getting killed by these Muslims. Who's killing them? Muslims. Who's raping your daughters? Muslims. Not Jews. Jews are not raping your kids. Muslims are. But Jews are the enemy. Okay. Can't argue with stupid. I can't. I can't argue with stupid. You know? I can't argue with stupid. Right? Yeah, I can't argue with stupid. And your government, you're all complicit. You know, you believe your government's lies, so you get what's coming. Okay, going to Israeli news. You guys can go and fly a kite while we go and discuss other things. Nasrallah, Israel's waiting is part of the retaliation. The battle is also psychological. Right, so he's trying to play with their mind, right? But we all know when they're gonna strike us. We all know when they're gonna strike us, right? We know, we Jews know when they're gonna strike us. You know when they're gonna strike us? Do you know when Iran's gonna hit? Right? Yeah, blah 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 blah. Yeah, parrot. You're parroting whatever your masters are telling you to say against Jews. Your master, Hitler. The Hitlers, they're trying to tell you what to say, right? You know, but soon you won't be able to read the books you want. Soon you won't be able to watch the movies you want. Soon you won't be able to go out the times you want. And soon you'll be arrested for just thinking, you know? And that's the punishment you will get for not taking our warning seriously. And not standing up for yourselves against people who are the real threat. And that's just the punishment of you not taking the warning when I tell you that it's not the Jews that are making the trouble. It's the elites, the media, brainwashing you over and over and over, propaganda against Jews. And then you come on my channel and you repeat the same thing over and over and over. USS Liberty! You know, all these like accusations which make no sense, and it's irrelevant, right? It's irrelevant to the threat, what you're facing today. The people who want to make you brain dead, it's not the Jews, because we are the thinkers. We are the Einsteins. The people who want to make you brain dead are the media, the people in charge of the media. Who's running the media? It's not the Jews. Most of them are owned by Goyim, right? The government and the deep state, the Clintons, right? The Obamas, those kind of people, they're trying to control you. The New World Order, all these people, not Jewish, you know? The Jewish nation are like me, who sit here, and people who keep Shabbat and go about their day. I'm telling you who's coming to destroy you and take away your freedoms and your rights. It's not us. It's those who, like the Clintons, right? So, yeah. Yeah, we stole everything, right? The propaganda machine is working in your brain. See? I'm talking to the wall. I tried, my friends. Okay, so when will Nasrallah strike us? Do you know when he will strike us? He's going to strike us like what they did. Like what the Muslims did on purpose. It's a psychological game. What the Muslims did to us on October 7, which was our high holiday of Simchat Torah. Right? They strike deliberately on our high holidays. Or on our sad days, which are like, for example, Tisha B'Av is coming up, which is the saddest day of the Jewish year, where it's mandatory for Jewish people to fast for 25 hours. No drinking or eating. And we go and we do lamentations. So this, we know, is when they will strike, right? Because they're sick. U.S. killed Houthi drone expert in Iraq airstrike, right? Algeria blames trans fuss on Zionist conspiracy. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is so good. See, Algerians, they're Muslims, right? And they hate Jews, just like Randy and Adam, right? So let's go see what they have to say about the Jews, right? Let's go see who is shipping the Muslims into the white countries. It's your deep state, the Clintons, the Obamas. They're not Jewish, and it's the deep state, and I'm not in the deep state, and Jews are not in the deep state, maybe one or two, but the Jewish nation is not involved. But you guys are sick and evil, so you can go fuck yourselves while I go and talk about the lunacy of your Zionist propaganda, your Zionist conspiracy. Okay, Algerian Olympic delegation blames trans controversy on Zionist conspiracy. Imam Khalif failed testosterone tests and still was allowed to participate in the Paris Olympics, angering her competitors and his, and igniting social media. Algeria blames transgender row in Israel. Right, it's all our fault, right? We did it. The Zionist lobby wants to break the mind of Iman, right? So, the entire world is against this, right? Any normal people in their sane mind will be like, hey, this guy is a dude. That's a dude. Our eyes don't lie. That's a dude. I mean, unless you're Jew haters like Randy and Adams, you know, who hate women, you know, unless you're like them, you know, you'll believe this shit. You'll believe this shit. Do you know what I'm saying? So now they're blaming us, right? Yeah. In our Torah, it says, I showed you the source where it says men can't wear women's clothes and women can't wear men's clothes, right? Oh, it's the Jews, right? They want to break the mind of a man. It's the Zionist fault, right? Since her first fight in the Olympics in Paris, Algerian boxer Imam Khalif has been caught in a storm of controversy. That's a dude. Khalif defeated his Italian rival Angela Carini in 46 seconds, because that's a dude, who then refused to shake his hand and later apologized because of a testosterone test he failed last year that resulted in his disqualification from the World Championship. That's a dude. He tested XY according to the other place that he was fighting in. That means he's a dude, according to science. But of course, Randy's and the Adams don't believe in science. Social media users were busy discussing the boxer's right to participate in the women's competition following her gender test fail, sparking transgender tropes. Although Khalif is not transgender, Algeria claims that the transgender storm is a Zionist conspiracy. Right. Like, we're responsible for pushing the trans idea, right? It's all the Jews' fault. The entire Jewish nation. It's all our fault. Like, you know, like, you guys don't want to take responsibility for your part in perversion and degeneracy. Literally, you guys are degenerate. It comes from you guys. Degeneracy, it's part of your culture. It's always been, you know? So, there's no 6 genders, and you misunderstand the Talmud. If there's such a thing written there, you don't have any idea. I did a video on the Talmud, which you are because you're lower vibration, you're unable to understand it, because you have a mild form of mind. Your brains are not normal, put it that way, right? So, yeah. Listen, we're not against gays. We don't hate gays. We love everybody. Jews love everybody. We accept everybody. We love everybody. But there are clear laws. You know, you're allowed to, according to Judaism, you're allowed to feel gay, but you're not allowed to act on it, right? That's the Jewish law. And we accept and love everybody, you know, as long as you don't hurt anybody else, right? But listen, you know, the stupid Hitler lovers who just want to be brain dead and read nothing because they want to watch the same TV show every single day, all day, because that's what's going to happen when your handlers come to control you. That's what they're going to let you see and read, like North Korea. Don't say I didn't warn you, right? Yeah, Randy. Little bitch, Randy. Whining like a little bitch. He thinks he's bored now, but just you wait until the elites get to you and control your brain. Yassine Arab, the director of the Algerian Olympic and Sports Committee. Why do you think Islamists never invented anything in 1400 years, because Islam doesn't allow you to think, right? And I did a video on this guy named Muhammad Abdu in my video. If you go look on my video in the live, where I spoke about how he tried to do reform in the Islamic community, and because he noticed that in the 1800s, right, he lived into the 1900s, right, but in the 1800s he noticed that the Islamic community was very depressed and they were very backward, while the Westerners were advancing, because the Westerners actually believe, the Christians, they believe in the Bible, the Tanakh, as being true, even though they shit on us, which is fine. You know, at least they're able to advance a little bit because of the freedom of thought, more freedom to think if you follow the Bible, right? But in Islam, there's the concept of free thinking it's forbidden, it's haram. So therefore they didn't invent anything. So, you know, if Islam takes over you'll understand, you know, maybe you guys need to be Islamic because you don't like to think, right? The director of the Algerian Olympic and Sports Committee made claims about the forces. He said, targeting Khalif, the Zionist lobby, they want to break the mind of Iman, but now Iman is very strong. They don't want a Muslim girl or Arabic girl to go higher in the level of the rank of female boxing. Right, it's a conspiracy. Anybody with eyes can see this is a dude. Right, so it's because of the Zionists. They're saying it's because of the Zionists, because of the Jews, right? Me, it's because of me. Because I don't want him to get a medal because he's an Islamic woman. Can you imagine? That's a dude. That's a dude. You think that's a girl? That's a fucking dude. I mean, look at this guy. That's a dude. Your eyes are not lying, my friends. Your eyes are not lying. You know? Your eyes are not lying. You know? You guys can go and continue on what your handlers told you to say and to repeat and to think about propaganda against Jews, but just understand your eyes are not lying here. You know, now they're saying that, you know, Algeria, they're blaming us. Blame the Jews for all your problems, as if that's gonna make it go away. Everyone knows this is a dude. Everybody knows this guy is a dude. That's a man with a jingling. Okay. That's a dude, and if he were a Muslim woman, he'd be wearing a hijab, because it's forbidden, it's haram for Islamic women to walk around without covering their hair, right? So, oh, the Zionist lobby, look how silly this is. The Zionist lobby, they want to break the mind of Iman, but now Iman is very strong. They don't want a Muslim girl or Arabic girl to go higher in the level of the rank of female boxing. We are all here for Iman. You can see all the support of everybody from the world, all the international press associations. They support Iman, right? The press, the media, who is part of the deep state of the elite cabals who are trying to control you, right? They repeat the same thing. They're trying to gaslight you to think that's a girl. And people are actually falling for it. You know, like, people are like, we need to apologize. They're saying, we need to apologize to her. We need to apologize. That's not nice. That's a girl. She's just a strong girl. They don't like her to be a strong girl. That's a dude. Okay? Even if the deep state media, your handlers, are trying to tell you that that's a girl, that's not a girl. That's a man. They're trying to say that your eyes are lying to you. That's a dude, okay? The allegations that Khalif is transgender became so widely spread that even former President Donald Trump addressed the issue, vowing to keep men out of women's sports. This guy has XY chromosomes, which makes him a dude. Okay? Arab responded that Trump has enough problems of his own and he should go see a doctor. We should see a doctor because our eyes see that that's a dude. Listen, I get it. I get it. They want to pretend, Algeria, who are Muslims, want to pretend and lie to your eyes that this is a girl, because, and they want to blame us Jews for the fact that your eyes are not lying to you. Like, now what you see is not real, according to the Jew haters. So now you can't even trust your own eyes. Like, this is the low that they've gone to. Like, this is how low the Jew haters will go to make you think that what you're seeing is not real. It's ridiculous. Right? Algerian officials also responded to the allegations against Yemen. Algeria will prosecute those who harmed our heroine. We will respond to any provocation with force, tweeted the Algerian Youth and Sports Minister Abdurrahim Hamad Zahir. Elon Musk, the owner of X, formerly known as Twitter, is accused of starting the defamation campaign against Khalif. Speakers to Bain Sports, Khalif said, "This is a matter of dignity and honor for every woman or female. The entire Arab people have known me for years. Really, so then why aren't you covering your hair? Why aren't you wearing a hijab? Why don't you have boobs? For years, I have been boxing in international federation competitions. They were unfair to me. Boo-hoo." Yeah, he wants to, like, basically punch out women. He wants a license. He wants you to think that your eyes are lying to you, and he wants it to make it okay for men in public to beat women and kill women in public. He wants to make it normal and then blame it on the Jews. This is how ridiculous Jew haters are. You know? They were unfair with me, but I have God. I want to tell the entire world that I am female. Really? Then why don't you have boobs? And why do you look like a man? And why aren't you wearing a hijab? And I will remain a female. I dedicate this medal to the world and to all the Arabs, and I tell you, long live Algeria. They try to feminize her, you see, in this picture? They try to feminize him, making him look more feminine with more wider hips, but our eyes don't lie. I'm sorry. I know you're trying to blame Jews for the fact that your eyes are showing you that it's a dude, but I hope that your Jew hatred will not be so bad that it will not allow you to believe this shit, right? Khalif has already secured a medal after qualifying from the semi-finals, and he was scheduled to compete on Tuesday for a place in the final against a Thai opponent. Although he previously failed the testosterone test, the International Olympic Committee allowed him to participate in the Paris Games. The results of his tests are confidential, so it is impossible to know. The other federation said he had XY. So it is impossible to know whether he enjoys an advantage over his female rivals. Well, he's beating any woman he gets in contact with, he's beating. He's winning everything, so, I mean, let him go fight men, you know? Right. Your eyes are lying to you, Adam. Your eyes are lying. Adam doesn't like to think. That's why he runs away. Every time I try to make him think, he runs away. And then he says, "I'm coming to Israel because I have psoriasis." He's going to use the Jews to fix his skin problems, you know. You're not welcome here, Adam. You're not welcome here. Yeah, we created the gender culture war. Okay, whatever. Listen, it's your culture. Most of the people participating in this degeneracy are not Jewish. So it's your people, it's your culture, and you are degenerate. And I understand it's hard for you to face that. But it's okay, you know? I don't understand why you hate transgender people. Why do you hate transgender people? They're wonderful. I understand. What do you have against it, right? What do you have against transgender people? They're really nice. A lot of them. Besides for this Imam Khalif who's beating women to pulp, a lot of them are nice. I don't understand why you don't like them, literally. Swimmer accuses staff of keeping her from final. Missing part of ancient Roman sword uncovered. At least 2 hurt, 1 critical in Hezbollah attack, right? So the world doesn't care. Basically, Hezbollah is sending in drones into Israel, and it's killing us on a daily basis. At least 5 hurt, 1 critically in Hezbollah drone strike in Western Galilee. At least 3 attacks of drones infiltrate Israeli airspace. Yeah, all day today I was getting notifications that there is basically... I'm getting notifications that basically... that I'm getting notifications that there's hostile intrusions coming in, and if I were living there, I would have to go in a bomb shelter, right? At least 3 attack drones infiltrated Israeli airspace, according to Lebanese reports, in a heavy barrage of rockets, UAVs, one landing near the coastal city of Nahariya, causing injuries. Earlier, IDF strikes down 30 kilometers, 19 miles north of Lebanon-Israeli border. What's this? Yeah, the sirens are going off. That's a drone. They're gonna shoot it down. It's a drone. These are drones, missiles coming in from Lebanon. I don't know if you can see it. It's very small in the video. Right? I don't know if you can see it. I don't know what they're saying.
מה קרה לרכב?
נזק, מלמטה במנוע, בשמשה הקדמית, מזל גדול.
את הפצועים אתה ראית? היו שני רכבים?
לא ראיתי פצועים, לא. הם המשיכו כנראה, אדם נפגע כאן והוא המשיך כבעד 300 מטר קדימה. הבנתי שכי... זה מה שנראה.
מה התחושות שלך? ידעת שמעת האזעקה?
היינו כביש ראשי, אני לא יכול גם לצד. כביש ראשי, אי אפשר לרדת באמצע הרמזור, אי אפשר לחצות באדום, ותשמע, זה קרה בשניות, זה ממש שניות.
איך אתה מרגיש?
How do you feel? He's saying, how do you feel? I'm afraid. I'm scary. He's saying I'm scared. He's like, this is a new life. This is a new life. Is it, huh? Messiah? There's only 2 different kinds of Muslims that are actually good people, which are the 3 actually. Yazidis, which is a mixture, the Sufis, and the Drusim. Those are the only type of Islam which are acceptable, I think. The rest of the Muslims that are not these 3, you can't trust them.
תספר לי מה היה אחי.
ראיתי פה, בדיוק בפינה פה, שהיה את ההזקה, ממש ראינו אותו, הוא ירד למטה ונתן במהירות מכה מרוסת.
I need to get me one of these guys. I need to get me one of these. There's so many handsome men. But I wouldn't want to get myself, I don't think I would want to date Mizrahi, like Middle Eastern Jewish men anymore, because I think they have more of the mentality of Muslims. Part of a missile. Yeah. Okay, let's see. At least 5 people were hurt, 1 critically on Tuesday when Western Galilee came under heavy fire from Hezbollah rockets and drone attacks. Hezbollah said it aimed its fire at a military base near Acre. The thing is, last time, 2 weeks ago, they killed 12 kids, you know? They murdered 12 children, and you guys don't care. Like, you guys don't give a shit about children. You claim you care for kids, but when kids actually die, you're not willing to actually, you know, blame the people who are responsible for killing children, right? I don't care about trans, honestly. Yes, you do. That's why you blame us for it. And you care for the porn because you're addicted. And first of all, that's a false claim. It was a lie. It's proven to be a lie about the rape of the Muslim, because apparently what he did was he stuck a phone up his ass, and that's what caused the rupture. But the thing is that I think, you know, why do you care about rapists, child rapists in Israeli prisons? Like, why do you care for them? You know, like, as if it's a bad thing if they get raped. Like, why do you care? Like, Watchmen, why do you care for the child rapists in Israeli prisons? Why do you care? Right? Why do you care for the rapists? Why do you care for chomos? Is there something we don't know, Randy? Like, chomos don't have human rights. So the prisoners in our prison here who are terrorists, they are chomos. So they should be raped because they don't have human rights, because we know what happens to chomos in American prisons. So the chomos in our prisons should get the same treatment or worse. Why do you care for terrorists? Maybe, you know, why don't you come here and go visit them? Go visit them. Go visit them, Randy. Go visit them. Why should you care, right? Why do you care if the IDF are, which they're not, sadly the IDF are not raping the IDF are not sodomizing our prisoners, because they should. But why do you care so much for them? Like, are they your friends? Do you know what I'm saying? Are they your friends? Like, are these your people? Like chomos, like child rapists? Is that who you stand with? Because the prisoners in Israel, in our prisons, those are guys who murdered and raped children and women and kids. So I want Randy to come here and go visit them, and then we can maybe lock him in the cage with the prisoners and let them have their way with him, because, you know, he likes chomos. He loves chomos. Randy stands with the terrorists. He cares for the human rights of the terrorists. You know, this is classic. You know, like the Jew haters, they love bad people. They stand with evil. Like those people in the prisons, they rape their own kids. You know, like the terrorists in our prisons, they are child rapists, and Randy stands with them. You guys expose yourself to be. You expose yourself as predators for children, child predators. It's disgusting. Randy stands with rapists. Do you know what I'm saying? Randy cares so much for the chomos, everybody. It's a beautiful sight. Like, isn't this classic? The guy, he's like, oh, the Israelis are... He's whining. He's whining like a bitch. You know? He's whining like a bitch. Oh, the poor prisoners. He cares for child rapists. Randy, come here. Let's put you in the prisons so you can have a one-on-one with them. And, you know, maybe you guys can have some fun and shack up in a classy way, and we'll video it, okay? We'll video it. I mean, these people in our prisons, they are child rapists. They rape their own children. They rape their own kids, like the Israeli prisoners. The Israeli in the IDF, they go and they take videos of they go and look into the villages with their binoculars, and what they see, Islamic culture, is these people are really evil. They go, they take their children, they'll take a child, every day it's another child. They'll take a male child or a female, but usually it's a boy, a 4 or 5-year-old, and they rape him and they molest him, right? And they do gang rapes, right? And this is who Watchmen stands with, you know? This is Randy's, this is who they love. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Randy loves chomos. So, you know, anybody who knows who Randy is, or Watchmen, they need to go and be careful of these people, because they stand with chomos and they care for the human rights as if they have human rights. They care for the human rights of child rapists in Israeli prisons. That's who you stand with. You are disgusting. You are disgusting. Shame on you. We spit on you. We spit on you. Watchmen, we spit on you. Disgusting. Child you endorse child rape. That's who you are. See, my friends, this is who they are. They stand with bad people. But you know what? You know what? The time will come when they'll be at the mercy of these monsters. And I'll laugh. I'll smile. I'll watch and I'll smile. And I'll throw a party. I'll watch you guys like I'm watching a movie. You know? But don't cry if they come and do what they did, you know, what the Muslims did to the 3 kids, you know? The Muslims came and they killed 3 British kids, right? A Muslim came and murdered your kids, like 3 British kids, and this is who you stand with? Do you know what I'm saying? Randy, there is no human rights for chomos. I'm sorry. Chomos need to be sodomized. And if you stand with them, Randy, you need to be sodomized as well. I mean, yes. And you as well, Watchmen. The 2 of you, disgusting freaks who stand with chomos. Yeah. Hezbollah said it aimed its fire at a military base near Acre after an Israeli strike on the South Lebanon town of Meifadoun near Nabatea, some 30 kilometers, 19 miles north of Lebanese border with Israel, reportedly killing at least 5 men. Oh, the human rights of the terrorists. They care for the human rights of the terrorists. They want the poor terrorists, all the terrorists. They're crying for the child rapists. Oh, they love child rapists. Yeah, this is they expose themselves. The Jew haters, they expose their face. You know, this is who they are. They love chomos. They probably are attracted to kids as well, you know. Disgusting pervs. A senior member of the Iran-backed group was among the dead. Aw. The IDF said its aircraft struck a military structure used by Hezbollah forces who launched attacks on Israel. Listen, if any man does anything bad to children, they need to be killed, right? Alright, forced penetration on terrorist chomos is completely justifiable, and it's the least we can do to punish them. And if you think it's okay that they don't get sodomized, you are sick and you are part of the problem. I would take you and put you in the prison with them so they can have their way with you. Do you understand? Chomos don't get to get judged by peers. Child rapists and terrorists don't have human rights, and they don't get to be judged by their peers because they're not civil people. And if you support them, then you are sick and evil, and you need to get the same treatment that they get. Anyone who stands with evil needs to be getting the same exact treatment that they will get. And if you think it's okay that these terrorists that do bad things to children should not get bad things done to them, you are sick and you are part of the problem. And I'm not going to say what needs to happen to you, right? Yeah, wow. I say they need a bullet to the head and they need to be sodomized, okay? And so come to Israel so we can put you in the prison with these terrorists, and then after a few days with them, let us know how it went, because you love them so much, you know? Like, this is the Jew hater. They love chomos. What do we do to chomos? How long is life expectancies of child rapists in American prisons? How long do they usually last if they're not segregated? How long do they last? How long do they last? Right? A very short time, and rightfully so, right? And these people in our prisons, they are the Nukba forces of the terrorists from October 7. They are responsible for raping children, and you stand with them. You are disgusting and you are part of the problem, and I hope the same fate that they get, you get as well. Amen. Because child rapists don't have rights and they need a bullet to the head. Do you understand? You are a sick perv, and you guys are basically like admitting to being pedophiles. Disgusting. You guys are disgusting and you stand with evil. Thank you for advertising. I want everybody to see. This is who they stand with, my friends. For anybody who sees later on in the video, I want them to see you guys caring so much for the chomos. And they claim to care for kids, you know, like the Jew haters. You know why? Because they're part of the, you probably do bad things in your own personal life, which is sick, you know? Listen, it's just justice, you know? It's justice. If rapists who rape children get sodomized, I'm happy, and I'm sorry, but it's not a harsh enough punishment, and they need a bullet to the head, okay? And if you think it's okay, what they do, and you support their human rights of those who don't deserve it, because they've lost their humanity once they've done terrible things to children, you are sick and you're part of the problem. And I would put you in the terrorist prisons so that they can have their way with you. Because that's the way they do things. That's their culture, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Randy killed his grandma, but Randy is going to be banned. And that's that. Wicked, wicked evil. Wicked evil people that stand with kids, stand with the chomos, stand with people who rape children. Randy, you're a very evil, wicked person, you know? Very wicked, evil person. And I hope something evil happens to you, and I hope that you suffer terribly. I hope you suffer terribly and something really evil happens to you. And in your last moments, you remember my face. Okay? Thank you. Sirens were heard in and around the coastal city of the Acre, warning of an infiltration of the attack drones, while Nahariya to the north. Right? To accuse me of such a thing, like, what? Like, to accuse me of such a thing, you know? Like, you're a sick pervert, you know? Like, you stand with chomos, you stand with evil people, and then you accuse me of doing such things when you stand with them. Fuck you, you know? God in heaven, please take Randy and do something evil to him so he'll understand the pain of those children. Amen. Thank you. Sirens were heard in and around the coastal city of Acre, warning of an infiltration of the attack drones, while Naria to the north was targeted by drones and missiles. Yeah, anyone who stands with child rapists, they need to go. They need to go. The attack came as Israel was on high alert in expectation of an attack from Iran, as well as from its Lebanese proxy. After the killing of Hamas political leader Ismail Haniyeh, another child rapist. In Tehran, it's their culture. Listen, and Randy's part of it. In Tehran last week, which was attributed to Israel and the assassination in Beirut, and then he slanders me on my own channel. What a sick pervert he is, you know? Sick perv. You know what I'm saying? No, I do not accept slanderous accusations. Such vile accusations, right? Yeah. And I wish the same on you, Watchman. I mean, thank you very much. Sick perverts that love child rapists. Sick. There's no argument to be lost. There's no argument to be lost. It's not an argument to be lost. These people on October 7, they put babies in ovens. They chopped off their heads. They raped little children, raped little girls, little boys. They raped mothers in front of their daughters, fathers in front of their kids. And that's not okay, you know? And you stand with them, and then you throw slanderous accusations at me. Like, I work with autistic people, and you say, like, the worst things ever, you know? Like, accuse me of doing the worst perverted crimes that you would do, right? Something that you do, to throw at me that accusation. You're a sick pedophile, and you need to be... And I hope it happens to you. I hope it happens to both of you this week. I mean, like, Liam, if you don't behave, I'll put the same curse on you. And trust me, my curses work. My curses work. Yeah, my curses work. My curses work and my prayers work. So, let me know when it happens. Let me know when you get gang whatever. Let me know how it felt. And come on my channel and we'll speak. We'll have a conversation then. And I hope it happens. I hope who does it will be the Ishmaelim, the Muslims. The attack came as Israel was on high alert in expectation of an attack from Iran, as well as from its Lebanese proxy after the killing of the Hamas political leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran last week, which was attributed to Israel, and the assassination in Beirut, of course, of a senior Hezbollah commander, which Israel has claimed responsibility for. Vile Jew haters. There's no low to how far they will go. Jew haters, you know? Like, low vibration, that's what you are, low vibrations. Excuse me. Lebanese Foreign Minister Abdallah Rashid Bou Habib, who was visiting Egypt, said the Beirut government was working to avoid an all-out war. We hope there would not be a strong Hezbollah response that would lead to a broad war, he said in a news conference held with an Egyptian counterpart, Badr Abdelati. No, of course you're not. I won't curse you. Sorry, it's only people like that, like so evil and wicked. You know, I worked for many years with special needs people, with autistic people, and I cared for them so much. They're so close to my heart. And every time I would shower them, you know, I did it with the utmost respect and the utmost dignity, and for them to come and say such things to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't deserve to live. These people, they are so evil. They stand with evil, you know? People like Randy, people like Adam, people like Watchmen, they come and say such things to me. Accuse me of the worst crimes known to humanity, when I'm so upset with the terrorists in our prison who have raped children on video camera, and that's why they're in jail, you know? They're chomos, they're perverts, they're sick, they need a bullet to the head, right? So, people like that, when I curse somebody, it usually happens. Do you understand? When I curse somebody, or somebody does such a disgusting thing to me, you know, speaks so disgusting to me, their days are numbered, you know. Like Randy, Watchman, you know, when something bad happens to them, you know, not that I'm anything powerful or anything, right, but there is something I see it in my life, that people who hurt me, people who try to hurl accusations at me to such a degree, on such low vibration, I will hear later on about their pain, right? I see this happen to people that do bad things, right? So I want to hear what happens with Watchmen, and I want to hear what happens with Randy when they get ganged, and when something goes up there, and when they cry and come back here and say, I'm sorry. Because you don't have a right to come and slander me on my own channel and make disgusting accusations at me when you are the one who stand with chomos and stand with evil. You're sick. You understand? Yeah. Liam, you better watch yourself, because you'll be next, right? I don't work with kids, you know. I do work with kids, but the special needs people I work with are adults. So, Liam, watch yourself. Watch your face, right? Perverts. Sick perverts, I'm telling you. Watch something terrible is going to happen to those two people this week. And they'll understand why it happened to them. Lebanese Foreign Minister Abdallah Rashid Bou Habib, who was visiting Egypt, said the Beirut government was working to avoid an all-out war. We hope that there will not be a strong Hezbollah response that would lead to a broad war, he said in a news conference held with his Egyptian counterpart Badir Abdelati. We are working with the Americans to limit escalation and to end the war in Gaza, Abdelati said. Very nice. Evil people. Low vibration. That's what they are, you know? Yahya Sinwar named political leader of Hamas replacement. It's hilarious. He's stuck under a tunnel, you know? Tell you. Haredi protesters, and this is the next time these two people come on my channel. I can't ban them for good because YouTube doesn't allow somehow, but next time they come on my channel, they're just gonna be banned. There's no point in engaging with them because they're low vibration. And I hope next time they come on my channel, they will report something happened to them, right? Yeah, it's part of being Christian, but you wish bad on Jews, right? Because Jews are not people. I don't wish bad on people because I'm Christian. But, oh, you wish bad on Jews because Jews are not human, we're demons. Right, you're just such a noble Christian. We all know you. We all know what kind of Christian you are, okay? We all know who you are. No need to fool anybody. Yeah. One hurt in a suspected West Bank terror attack. Listen, I'm telling you, when people do bad things, I'm telling you now that somehow people like Randy and Watchmen, they think they're so cool. And when something happens to them, they'll know why it happened to them. They'll know. I mean. Right. Okay, let's see what happened. What was the story? One hurt in a suspected West Bank terrorist attack. The assailant runs towards the checkpoint leading from Bethlehem to Jerusalem carrying a knife and stabs the young woman in the back, in classical Islamic style. Border police troops open fire, neutralizing him. According to initial reports, the assailant stepped off a butt and began his attack with a knife and a screwdriver. Seriously, that's not funny. That's so scary. The woman who was stabbed was conscious and treated on the scene. And the suspect terrorist was neutralized, so he was killed. Very nice. When we arrived, we saw the women and administered emergency care. Paramedic Jakob Greenwald said. We then transported her by ambulance to the hospital. Security forces were rushed to the scene, and the main highway, Route 60, was closed to allow searches to be conducted. The attack comes just 2 days after 2 people were stabbed to death in a terrorist attack in Cholon, outside Tel Aviv. The terrorist, who was killed by a police officer on the scene, was a resident of the West Bank town of Salfit and was in Israel illegally. So where was he from? From West Bank town of Salfit. How did he get into Israel? That's low vibration, demonic entities. Wow. You know? Just wow. All I can say. Chaos and accusations, Royal RGC after Hania assassination. Alright. Don't come and say things to me on my platform. Just don't do it. Because bad things will happen to you, and I promise you it's gonna happen. I promise you it will happen to you. Just don't do it. Just like in Israel, the Jewish community here is struggling. Right? I can handle a lot, but there's certain things that I can handle a lot. You hate Jews, Liam. You know, according to the Talmud, right? According to the Torah, people who are kind to the Jews, even if they are pagan, right? You know what Jews think about Christianity, which is pagan. Jews know that Christianity is pagan, completely pagan, and it's complete idolatry. So, according to the Tanakh, right, the people who wish good on Jews and who are good to the Jewish people and to the Jewish community and never try to hurt us, they have a place in the world to come, even if they are idolaters. People like you won't ever see the light. You'll never get to heaven, ever. You'll just when the time comes for you to go, you'll cease to exist, and that's all that will happen to you. Just like in Israel, the Jewish community here is struggling. The North American Jewish Choral Festival in Stamford, Connecticut brought together people from diverse backgrounds in a vibrant celebration of music and community, featuring performances that resonated deeply in the context of recent global events. When I first arrived in Stamford, Connecticut, I felt like I had wandered into some kind of quirky musical twilight zone. So what's going on there? So they're singing. Very cute. So they're having a hard time? Is there like Jew hatred going on? So they have songs. It looks like they're conservative. Okay, let's go see the Jerusalem Post. White House says hostage talks in final stage, right? Biden's in his final stage. Gantz urges targeting Lebanon infrastructure, increasing military pressure. Hamas plans for Sinwar to replace Hania. Kamala Harris chooses Tim Walz as vice president running mate. Let's see about that. Right? Okay. I don't understand how they can just choose without votes, you know? Belgian author, I want to ram a sharp knife through the throat of every Jew we meet. Nice people, right? Such nice people. Non-Jewish population. I think it's just it's a spiritual thing how they're so hateful. It's a spiritual thing. Iran plans to attack Israel on Tisha B'Av, the Jewish day of disaster. Right. So it's mind games. You know what I'm saying? What religion other than Judaism is not pagan for a Jew? Islam is not pagan because they believe in one God who's invisible, Allah. What else do they believe in? Right? Yeah, Islam. Any other religion, like Christianity, they believe in a man as a god. That's that's pagan, and that is complete, like, idolatry. What else is... what other religion? Buddha is idolatry. What other... there's another one, not Buddha. Hinduism is also... they worship lots of gods. I guess the idea of one invisible God is it's a Jewish thing, you know. The rest of the world, they don't really hold to that. But like the Jewish people, we don't believe in killing idol worshippers like the Muslims. We don't believe in converting anybody to Judaism. We don't believe in any of that, you know what I'm saying? Echnatan religion was monotheism. Echnatan. Who's this Echnatan? Echnatan religion. Let's see. Copy. Let's go look it up for fun. Wow, those two Jew haters really put me in a bad mood. They're really evil. You know, like they stand with chomos. Like literally, they stand with evil. They like these people in our prisons. They're not simple people. They're not like regular criminals. They are like child rapists. Antonism, Akhenaten. The views of Egyptologists differ to whether the religious policy was absolutely monotheistic. It could be that they believe in one God, but they don't believe in they believe in an idol. They don't believe in an invisible entity with no form or image, right? Because they believe in an image, you see? Like they have an image. It's monotheistic, right? But it's not, it's not, we don't believe in an image or form. It's forbidden, strictly forbidden to worship any form or any image. Right? Even if it's atheist, it's monotheistic, right? For Jews, right, we have to, our God is invisible, completely invisible, no form or image, and is one. God is one. There's no other. I don't know if I like this program. I need to get like Google. I'm not used to this type of search engine, right? I'm not sure. I have to figure this out, right? He's a king of Egypt. He was a king. He was a man, right? So we don't believe in a man, right? Like in Judaism, God is not a man. So even if it's one, even if people worship just one God, like the first monotheistic religion officially was like Egyptian, who was the sun god, I think. Father of Tut Enk. Echnatan, aka Amenophis IV. Right? Egyptian pharaoh lived short before Moses, I think. Yeah. Father of Tut Amun, husband and brother of Nefertiti, aka Nefret or Nefretete. Yeah, so they believe in one God, and basically, but they don't believe in an invisible entity. They believe in like a deity. They believe in like they have an idol. They have a statue, right? The Christians, they also have statues, you know, but they believe in three. They say it's one, but they believe in three, the Christians. But even those people who bow down to idols, right, to images and forms, if they are good to the Jewish nation, they are considered, you know, they have great merits. They don't have to worship the one God. I mean, it's better if they do, but if they're good to the Jews, then, you know, they have lots of merit. Right? I don't mean to, like, honestly, like, I don't mean to come off as ugly and unpleasant on my channel, you know? I think next time, like, Jew haters come on my channel, I'm just gonna block all of them for 24 hours. It's not worth the stress because they don't matter to me. You know, it's fun to have arguments sometimes, but then it's like, I don't have any tolerance for chomos. Have you heard of the religion of flying spaghetti monster? Like, no, I haven't heard of it. I have to look it up. So basically, flying spaghetti monster, yeah. Basically, like, today, when I was watching, like, this Steve Wilkes, and he has all these like people come on his show, and one guy, like a lot of his segments are like he brings on like crazy, creepy, evil stuff. Like he had on his show a father and daughter who were sleeping together, right? And the father, he went and he saw his daughter, like he wasn't there for her as a child. He abandoned her. Then he looked up her social media, and she had like a bikini picture, and he started sending her sexual messages. She just wanted attention and to reconnect with her father, and then he raped her, and then, because it's not consensual, right? He basically, and then they had this relationship, like this sexual relationship. It was just abuse. He was raping her, but it was just so disturbing that I got so depressed after watching that. I was like, okay, I can't watch any of this creepy stuff anymore, because it just makes me really, really sad and really depressed. And then to have like these people that come on my channel that stand with freaks that like rape their daughters and stuff, and rape culture, and then they accuse me of doing such a thing. It's just so wicked and evil, like these people, they're evil. They stand with evil, they're evil people. They stand with evil, and they don't deserve. I would like put something, like to these people who stand with child rapists. What would I do with them? What would I do with them? Child rapists, what would I do with them? If I had the power, they wouldn't see daylight. You know what I'm saying? Hi, the official ambassador of mulatto race. That's like the Randys and the Adams, and the Watchmen come on my channel and say the worst, most disgusting, despicable things, and they sympathize with people who they think need to have human rights. They say that the terrorists in our prisons who did the worst thing to us on October 7, that are part of rape culture and raped babies on October 7, that they have human rights. And then they make me into a bad person for saying that I want them to be sodomized and a bullet in the head. Those people don't deserve to live. And then they come and say that I do such things. I those kind of people like Randy and Adam and Watchmen, I curse them that something evil like that should happen to them. The same which they are okay with happening to children. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but next time they come on my channel, I'll just block them. They don't, 24 hours. I wish I could just block them for good. Like, these people you just block, that they can't comment. Maybe I'll start doing live streams where I just do the news and whatever I want to do without the comment section on. Maybe I'll turn off the comment section, because it's just too, like, I have to, it bothers me so much, like, if I had the ability to enact justice, there would be a lot of people, there would be the people that are proven to have done bad things, like most of the people in our prisons, they are proven to have done bad things because they were caught on camera and they're witnesses, right? So all those Muslims in our prisons, it's proven that they have done the worst things to people, right? Like, I would just, I'm not gonna say, I don't want to get banned off of here, but, like, what would I do with these people? What would I do with them? Just use your imagination, And anybody that sympathizes with them, anyone that opens their mouth that says, oh, human rights, I'll take them. And I will lock them in the prisons so that the prisoners who they want human rights for, they can spend some time together. I shared one of your videos with my friend who tried to peel the I Stand With Israel sticker off of my window. Good for you. Good for you. Which video did you send? Was it the one where, I spoke with an Israeli? Right? Most disturbing stories of Joseph Fritz from Austria. He hid his own daughter in the basement. Exactly. And he raped her, and she had all these kids. And made about 10 children with her. Yeah. Like, that kind of man, if you can call him a man, I would take him. And it would be so brutal. The brutality that would happen to that man, right? I don't know why I get so worked up and angry about this stuff. Like, why? Why do I get so angry? You know? You know? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I guess because it's so dark and it's so evil. You know? And it's just... You know? Like, half of these babies he put in front of the house door with the fake note from his daughter so the grandmother would find them exactly like his wife. What a sick pervert, right? And it's just disturbing. And, see, you know, like, I don't care if somebody's a Jew that does such things to kids. If a person's Jewish and as an adult they go and do bad things to kids, I don't have any pity for them. You know, like, I don't have pity for them. Like Jeffrey Epstein, I have no pity for him. You know, like, take if it's a Jewish guy that does such a thing, take him, throw him to the wolves. You know, lock him up, throw him away the key, right? I don't remember which specific video. I just wanted to get the idea of the vibe of the channel. It's not a good vibe because my vibe is very angry. My vibe is just like today, those freaks came on my channel and it's just like really. I have to figure out how to run my channel without getting upset with these freaks that stand with rapists, right? He said he wanted to protect her from society. Right, yeah. Basically, she tried to run away from him, and the authorities returned her to her father. And then he built like a whole thing and locked her in. It's so dark and depressing. It's so scary. Humanity could be so evil. But someone like him needs to be made an example of, you know? You know, like, these people, they need to be... You know, like, yeah, I understand, like... I understand the idea that we don't want society to be barbaric or be exposed to barbarity because then it makes people desensitized, right? So, you know, like... You know, Israel, we believe in, like, civil justice, right? So for these people, these prisoners... They're treated really well, you know. They have trials, and they have due process, and they have lawyers. Like the worst prisoners in the world, they have, because we're a society of law and justice, right? So on the one hand, yeah, I understand the concept of, you know, we don't want to do vigilante justice where people just kill whoever to get justice for their loved one, right? Which is, it's kind of, that's Islamic society, right? Right? But then it's like, it's just like, someone like that monster German guy, like, I'm not to say bad for Germans, I'm just saying that guy, that particular man who did that to his daughter, you know, like, I don't think he should be allowed to live. I think he should have been put to death. You know, he should have been put to death. Like, the German courts should have hanged him. In a civil way, they should have hanged him. And he should have known he shouldn't have known the day that he was going to be killed. So that he'll have anxiety every day, and they should have just hanged him. You know what I'm saying? Like, but, like, I get it. I come across as really unhinged and nasty and, angry. But it's just like, it's like, how could anybody stand with these monsters? Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's... How could anyone stand with these monsters that willfully do these things, you know, like, and are proud of what they do, you know? And they feel bad for the evil people. They feel bad. They want to, like, human rights for these monsters. Like, why do you care so much for human rights for monsters? Like, why do they deserve human rights? They don't, once they've done certain things, they don't deserve rights. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's so deep, dark, and sick and evil. It's just so depraved. It's just like the things that are horror, you know? Did you hear about the guy who built his own submarine and invited a female journalist? Yes, and he killed her. He dismembered her, right? He dismembered her, right? There's really sick, disgusting, twisted, evil people, you know? But one thing that I was watching before I came on here was, you know, people who, which is very inspiring to me and very beautiful. It was people who what was I watching? It was people who have near-death experiences. So there are people who like died on the surgery table, and then they came back to life. Like they're legally dead, like no heartbeat, no brain movement, completely dead, and then they come back to life. Or people who like drown and they come back to life, or they drug overdose and they are dead and then they come back to life, like through CPR or whatever. And the stories that they tell about like how heaven is, you know, how it is to, that how the world outside of this world is, you know, the existence of another world. It's just so, it's hopeful, you know, it's just so beautiful, it's so hopeful, it's so, you know, like, people ask me, like, are you afraid to die? You know, are you afraid to die? They ask me, am I afraid to die? The answer is, what's the answer? Right? The answer is, am I afraid to die? The answer is no. What I'm afraid of is how I will die. I hope that I don't want to suffer, you know. What I'm really afraid of in this life, there's only a few things I'm afraid of. One of them is boredom. One of them is boredom, right? I think that, I feel like the afterlife, right? I feel like being out of this world, like being out of this existence, for example, I feel like being out of your body is much more pleasant feeling, and it's it's like basically, what's death, right? Death is basically your consciousness goes out of your body, right? So I feel like if your consciousness leaves your body, right, the body dies, but your consciousness goes out. It's a much nicer existence. You know what I mean? Because you don't have the limitations of this world, and you don't have the limitations of your body, and you don't necessarily have the pain of this world. You know, so that's my view on the afterlife, right? And the one thing I'm afraid of is boredom, because that's why I keep collecting books, because, you know, in this day and age, especially living in Israel, it's like, in this day and age, I like, for example, I go to the garbage over there, and there's the mailboxes, and there are people. It's like a second life for free. Yeah, but there's a little difference between this life and the life outside of this life, right? Because the life outside of this life is limiting. You can't do it as much. You can't see. There's other dimensions, so you see other dimensions, right? But in this life, you can accomplish more by making effect on other people, right? You can actually meet other souls here, human beings, like in this physical world, and you can make differences in their life. And you can accomplish things that you can't accomplish in the afterlife. For example, like having children, right? You can't accomplish that in the afterlife. You can only accomplish it here, right? So there's certain things like that you can only do in this physical world, in this physical existence. But when you go into the next world, right, it's a different dimension. It's a different reality. It's a different, like, the way these people like talk about how their existence after they die, right? But also, I believe it myself. You know, like, I think the dimensions out of this life are so different. As long as, right, as long as you don't get stuck. Because there are earthbound spirits. There are spirits that are earthbound, which are stuck on this earth, right? And, like, I like this guy named Matt Fraser. I listen to him. He's like a medium. I don't believe in most psychic mediums, but this guy, I think he's a real deal, right? There's a story about that Bavarian who came to heaven, and the angels played harp, and he doesn't like that, and he wants to drink beer so badly. There's no beer in heaven. Yeah, but according to this guy Matt Fraser, he says that, and I also believe it, because according to Judaism, there is heaven. There's certain heavens for certain people, and it includes physical actions. You know, so if somebody enjoys beer, they'll have beer to drink, right? If somebody enjoys horse riding, that will be their heaven. They will be horse riding. So Matt Fraser, he I believe he's the real deal, because he knows details that no one knows, and I believe he actually has this gift, to speak with the spirits of the afterlife, unless somebody comes and debunks that, right? Because he's not like other readers. I see other so-called people who will tell you about your loved ones, oh, they're channeling their spirit, nonsense, right? So yeah, it's a very interesting conversation. And right, but I do believe that for certain people that are evil, they either go to a very bad place, like in the place of demons, right? They get carried off to the which you would call hell, right? So they get carried away by like evil forces who torment them forever and ever. Like evil forces. Ancient Greeks had different kinds of hell and heaven for different people. Exactly. Yeah, I believe that too. I think that's in Judaism. There's the concept of heaven, like not in the Tanakh. The rabbis, the great sages, they always had this idea of what heaven would be, right? So, for example, right, what was the thing about heaven? So I believe that people who go to hell, their hell is like being around demonic entities, right? Matt Fraser believes that bad people, they don't get to go to heaven. They just stay earthbound, and they don't like to be around people. So they usually, their souls will go to places which are empty, uninhabited, right? So, and that's why, like, people, they go to haunted houses. They go to, like, empty houses, and a lot of the time they will pick up energy from the spirits. And most of the spirits there are evil, right? It's a very interesting topic, right? So, I believe that, I once had a dream, right? I had a dream. Yeah, I had this dream that the warriors fallen in battle had their own paradise in many pagan religions. Yeah. Something, I watched paranormal stuff, and a lot of the stuff, they talk about, like this family went to Japan, right? They were stationed in Japan for, like, military purposes. So the guy took his whole family there, and they went to this house. And this house had all these entities in the house. And the daughter and the mother, they speak about these entities that were tormenting them. And then they literally called, like, these shamans, what do they call them? Japanese shamans, they called them. And shaman, a lot of these people from these ancient pagan religions, they have a lot of wisdom, and they can see beyond this world, and they know they're very spiritual, and they're able to see what we can't see, these shamans, right? And they can tell you what the soul wants, right? And a lot of the time they'll be like, oh, this soul is too powerful, I can't help you, and so, like, that's what happened with this family who went to Japan. And a lot of people say in Japan that there's a lot of paranormal activity there, because a lot of the time there's, like, natural disasters, and these souls, they get lost. And a lot of the time people will report, like, taxi drivers, for instance, they will pick up people. They'll pick up people. What's Shintoism? Interesting, yeah. They'll pick up people from outside they'll pick up people from who need taxi rides, and they see them in the back mirror, right? They see the people, but then they're just driving, and suddenly the person's gone, right? They say, take me home. Where's your home? They give an address, and then before they even get to the address, the entity's gone in the car, who looks like a person, And a lot of these people, they report seeing such people, like, who are lost, souls who are lost, that are just looking for their families. Oh, Shintoism, they believe the ghosts of their ancestors are present. Yeah. And Hinduism also, they believe in reincarnation, right? So, like, I'm really sorry that I was so unpleasant. I'm really sorry that I was so unpleasant in this. I'm sorry that I was so unpleasant in this live. I thought it would be I guess it was a hard day because of watching that horrible thing, and then, like, you know what I'm saying, like, incest and all that dark stuff, and then, you know, what's going on in Israel, and then going on the news, and then these Jew haters attacking my channel, you know, and standing with bad people, and then I sound like a horrible person because, like, whatever, I think I'm in the right, you know. Shintoism is the religion of Japan, right? Yeah. And they cremate their family members, I think. Alright, so I'm sorry if I came off as hateful, right? In real life, I don't really hate anybody. I just get upset. I get really upset, you know. And when people come and say things that are unacceptable to me, I believe those people have they're evil and they don't deserve good in this life. Because they expose themselves for who they are. You know what I'm saying? Feel sorry for you, so many bad people go on your channel. I guess it's because I'm Jewish and I talk about Jewish stuff. I don't only talk about Jewish stuff. Like, the next religion I can talk about is Shintoism. You know, I speak about all different religions. I talk about this religion and that religion. You know, okay, yeah, granted, I talk about a lot of Jewish stuff because I'm Jewish and I feel like awareness needs to be spread about us, but for my people, but still, like, I do speak about, oh yeah, most of these bad people that call my channel are male, and most of these bad people that basically are in Israeli prisons, they're male, you know, even though females take part in it as well, like the Muslim females, they're not so innocent either. You know, they could be just as violent and vicious, but it's basically the males. It's more the males that go and do bad things to people, you know, and do you know what I'm saying? But I do, like, I think I like to pride myself that I discuss lots of topics, you know, like, I do discuss other religions, even though, and I try to give them grace, you know. I've been talking about the different gods. The other god was Marduk, right? I like you so much because you're honest and have good manners, even if you fart on purpose, swear, and insult. You think it's good manners, even if I wish somebody bad, evil things to happen to them. It doesn't look good on me, you know. Like, YouTube could ban me. I'm surprised they haven't yet. I guess because not enough people reported my videos, and not enough people are watching my channel, you know, so, you know, that makes me even more honest. No, it's like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, now that I'm on YouTube, you know, eventually, who knows, you know, people will start making videos about me and how evil I am. They'll start taking all my videos out of context, and they'll start bashing me like that, you know, like what they do to other creators. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know if I'm ready for that type of vitriol and hatred, and it can do something to your psyche, you know? Like, I don't believe any of us are really immune to this type of online stuff, you know, people saying nasty things about you, you know? Yeah, I do get upset. You know, like, I could take a lot, you know? I'm Jewish, you know, I could take a lot. I could say, you know, like, they can come and say, oh, the Jews do this, even though it bothers me. The Jews do that. Oh, you are this. And they come on my channel and say, die, Jew, die. Well wishes, you know? But then it's like, you know, they start saying things like, they start sympathizing with terrorists, you know? And then they go and accuse me of doing what terrorists do, you know, which is sick. So I some people who like you they'll ask you to watch something positive, not only the news. Exactly. That's why I like to learn other things. I don't just like the news. I look at, a lot of time I'll focus on different philosophers, you know. There's a lot of topics I need to cover, right? There's a lot of things to talk about. So, yeah, I guess I need to come back on here with a plan, you know. And yeah, next time those freaks come on here, maybe I'll just, as soon as they come on, I'll just block them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's fun to have their attention, you know? As long as it doesn't get too unhealthy with their, unless, like, as long as it doesn't get too unhealthy with their, oh yeah, you know, like, imagine, like, I worked with like autistic special needs people, and I have the utmost respect for them, you know, and for them to come and accuse me of doing bad things to them, like, these are evil, bad people, you know, bastards, really evil, bad people, and that's what made me so upset, you know, like, if I block them, will you also get troubles for that? What do you mean? Will I get troubled? Generally they're okay. You know, generally I don't mind them. But then it reaches peak level where it's like when it comes to sexual harassment, right? When they come on here and be like, oh, are you getting wet down there? Oh, this and that. Like they say like sexually stuff like that. I feel like that's like sexual assault. Or like, oh, I'll pound her really hard, you know, they'll say stuff like that. Or they'll be like that, and then I block them. And then I'll say, or if they start accusing me of like, you know, like the chomos, you know, that type of thing, that really, really upsets me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like this is their that's their tradition, these Jew haters. It's their thing. They love, you know, like, I can handle a lot. It's like, I can even handle people who, you know, they have conspiracy theories, you know, and it gives me ideas, and it teaches me, all these Jew haters, like, there is something to learn from them, which is, you know, whatever they accuse me of, right? Accuse Jews of. Then I go and I try to do my research, and then it gives me something to talk about, right? A lot of the time it gives me new ideas, it teaches me something as well, I learn from it, you know, so it's a tricky thing, you know what I mean, because on the one hand, you know, fuck them, but on the other hand, there is something to learn from these monsters, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't care about them. I know. I shouldn't. I know. And then I think to myself, like, one day, you know, people are going to start bashing my videos and start bashing me, and then I don't know if I can handle it emotionally, right? Am I strong enough, right? Because if I get more popular, right? But that's the con of being a public figure, right? Always be willing to learn. Exactly. Exactly. Like, I learn from these Jew haters. I learn it like, as much as I can't stand them, you know, they teach me something every time, and it gives me something to my mind. It feeds my brain a little bit, because, like, it helps me understand why people are how people, it helps me understand the philosophy of how most human beings, like, I believe, the more I learn, the more I grow, right? I believe that most human beings, they don't really want to be free. They want to be controlled. You know what I mean? Some people have different opinions, and some people only want to make other people angry while they sit in front of their PC and they think it's funny. Yeah, and, like, I shouldn't give in to them, you know? I shouldn't have given in to them. I shouldn't have, because it makes them happy. It gives them power. But I think it makes my streams more entertaining, even though it gets unpleasant and angry. But then again, it's like, it's a mix of things, you know, because I'm learning, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm exhausted. I need to go to sleep. And I'm expecting someone to come to my house tomorrow, a friend. I don't know. God in heaven. I don't know why God creates such evil people, like rapists, child rapists. I don't know why. I don't know. What's the purpose? You know, what's the purpose of creating these monsters? Why is, like, why? Why does he allow people to do such bad things? Like, you know, like, I can't understand it. How does God let people like the Muslims do such terrible things and they get away with it? How can it be? And how could such evil people stand with these monsters? How? You know? Like, how? You know? If you want to get popular, maybe you need another background. What do you mean? You know, it's just like, it's really disturbing. I need to go to sleep. Okay guys, I'm gonna go to sleep now. It's been real. God forgive me for my bad temper. And God, let them, those people that come on my channel do those, speak like that, let them understand what it's like to be a little girl or a little boy and be on the receiving end of those monsters. You know? A little bit of justice in the world. Okay. Anyway, it's been real. Have a great day, you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, maybe I'll go on my other channels, you know. I just need ideas on who to read, what to read about Kamala Harris and Trump and stuff, or Candace Owens for tarot. And my other book channel, I need to start reading Moshe Dayan book. And here, maybe I'll continue on reading the Islamic book. Thanks, Argonaut. Thanks, Jorg. Have a great night, and bye.